Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and in your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey hoodies, what's up? How is everybody doing on this fine Sunday? Is it afternoon? Morning's here, still morning here, but for some of y'all it might be the afternoon. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your Sunday, have been having a good weekend. Your girl is here to do another TV show review. Before I get into the rest of the things that I got going on today. I got to run some errands, and then later on tonight, by the way, the baby just left, by the way, also. So I've been having a little baby, my four-year-old grandson. So he just left around like 10 this morning. So after I get through with this live review, BMF, then I got to run some errands, handle some biz night E. And then tonight, I'm going to be over here on, Big Riz and I have a Sunday night show that we do together from the block to the hood table. And last week we were on his panel. This week we're going to be on my panel. So tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, we'll be over here tonight on the hood table for our weekly From the Block to the Hood Table show. And we got a few things to discuss. Some of it is trending news. Some of it is celebrity news. Some of it is crime, and we're going to be discussing that tonight. So I hope you guys will be able to show up tonight for us and come through and show us some love. But please, you guys, on your way in, please make sure you like and share this video. Please and thank you very much. And if you happen to be new here, please feel free to subscribe. And by the way, you guys, I kept telling you guys that I was going to get caught up on the Shy after the trial for Diddy was up. Child, it is so much going on the Shy. I cannot wait to review that with you guys. The Shy right now is on season 7, episode 9. I'm all caught up. I watched episode 9 last night. So tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to do a review on season 7, episode 9. Of the Shy, and I think it's only like 4 or 5 more episodes left, so I'm kind of late with my reviews, but I promised that I would get caught up after the Diddy trial. So the Diddy trial is out the way right now. We're just waiting on the sentencing for Diddy. But anywho, right now we are ready to review BMF. Now, my sister friend, Sislo, I don't know if she's going to join us or not. I sent her a message telling her I was going live. And if she wants to join me, she can, because, Sislo watches this show as well. And she's from the D area, so she's very familiar with the history of a lot of people in the D, from celebrities to gangsters to, well-known famous people who has came out of that state, out of that area. So she's pretty well known with the history of a lot of those people. So she be giving us some tea that don't even be on the show that we ain't never even heard of. So that's another reason why I like to do the shows with Sislo too. But what up, Room Shaker? What's shaking, baby? This Sunday morning. And what up, 400? 400. The other day you went live. And you didn't let me know that you was going live, and I didn't even know it till afterwards. And so I just happened to be, going along YouTube, seeing who's been live, what I missed, whatever. And I saw you had went live for a couple of hours. I was like, well, ain't that some shit? I wish I would have known because I would have joined you over there. But anywho, next time. It's okay. It's okay. I was like, and he was up there for a couple of hours too. But yeah, I watched the show. I watched the replay. I gave you a click and a like and a view and all that kind of stuff. But okay, y'all. So let's get this party started. We are now on BMF season 4, episode 6, and it was titled Bad Religion. Bad Religion. Now, a lot of times when we have titles of a show, I try to figure out the meaning somewhere in the show where the title comes from. But this one, I think I missed it. I think I missed it. And even when I go back and try to figure it out, I still I don't know. Was it the Muslims Mook and them that maybe the title is going toward not the Muslim but the what do they call them? Oh damn, I forgot what they call them. They did mention Muslim, but there's another name that they call those brothers. I can't think of the name. But anyway, Mook and them. Anyway, so we're gonna start off with T and Terry and Markeisha. And as usual, y'all feel free to chime in the chat. Drop down, get your eagle on in the chat. Let me know what you thought, your thoughts on the different storylines that I'll be talking about. And at the end, I'll drop the link so you guys can hit the panel if you want, to discuss it with me. But we know that Boom is home, right? Boom, they came in. He came in, he kicked the door in, like, baby, I'm home. He came home last week and interrupted some shit, right? And it was a surprise, a very unwelcome, unexpected surprise for Markeisha. And T didn't even know right away. He had to find out later. But Markeisha found out right away. He came home. She wasn't expecting him. He been released from prison. And like I said last week in my Usher's voice, was like, daddy's home and it's time to play. And you ain't gotta give my loving away. Boom is ready to play. He is ready to play. And we saw that right away when he came home and he bent Markeisha over that couch, child. She was like, in her head, she was like, no. Why me? And then I'm like, how the fuck this nigga even know where you live? I mean, first of all, that's T's house because T got the house. And then, he moved her into it. They moved into it. But then they broke up. But regardless, like, how the hell he know your address, where you live? You stay with a nigga. You still married to him. You got a nigga's house. You would think that she wouldn't want him to know where she lives, right? Anyway, he came over there like, Uber, taxi, I'm going home. But this nigga knew damn well that she had been fucking around with T. And he still moved his fresh out of the joint ass in with Markeisha. And I mean, granted, they are married. They got kids, and all that. But why would you want to move back in with her knowing she's been fucking around on you while you were locked up? On the other hand, T should have eventually known that whether it was Boom or another nigga, Markeisha will one day get another man and have him all up and through that house, including on the bed that T bought. Okay. Now y'all remember that story I told you about a nigga who busted my house in the middle of the night, and, tried to kill me and shit because I was fucking around with something. We had broken up though, but all because I had moved on and the bed that I had was the bed that his mother had given us when we first moved out. Child. He was pissed. And at the time I was thinking, nigga, are you for real? What the fuck you think? I'm like, what you want me to sell the bed? Well, I'm supposed to give the bed away? Like, come on now, that shit. Anyway. But yeah, that shit happened in real life with me before. But anywho, T should have known, she's married for one. Y'all broke up. She's gonna end up with another nigga because, like Boom said, whether it's him or another motherfucker, she will never truly be teased as long as she still has Boom's wedding ring on her finger. Like they still married. They still legally married by paper, by the court. So, after their relationship was over, I think T should have gave her a 30-day notice. Y'all let me know what y'all think, but I think he should have gave her a 30-day notice to vacate the premises. Then either he keep the crib, rent it out, or use it as a stash house or something. But now they done got the fighting, moving furniture around and shit. He up there whipping on that nigga while he in his robe and shit. That's just another problem that they don't need. Just one more fucking obstacle that the brothers are going to have on their hands, besides all the other shit that they always got going on. Okay. And last week, we saw how Meech was made aware by Loco that Jay Pusha was trying to steal his connect from right underneath him. He was trying to snatch that rug from right underneath him. Now, Jay Pusha, to me, I said this, y'all who've been following me, y'all know I said this from day one. When I first laid eyes on that slick talking motherfucker, I was like, he's a snake. And T felt like it was too. But oh no, Meech, I swear, Meech, he can be smart a lot of the times, but a lot of the times he lacks wisdom. He lacks insight. I don't know what it is, and maybe that's why his ass ended up being locked up for all them years. But anyway, I knew he was a snake. I knew it. And he probably had already planned to go behind Meech's back from the gate, from the jump, and try to get at Loco. But it would have been nice if Meech would have taken T's warning, right, early on, because now they could be facing a very ugly all-out war with the loot. And I don't know if they want that. I don't know if they want that. That problem would have been solved, though, if B. Mickey would have done exactly what he was set out to do. Now, y'all, to say I was disappointed, I was disappointed, really disappointed with how this turned out. Like, did y'all see this coming? What up, big? Oh, hey, boo. Did y'all see this coming? I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Like, the problem could have been solved if B. Mickey would have done exactly what he was set out to do, which was to kill Jay Pusha. Who was like, how the hell you a shooter, nigga? And you missed a shot like that? Like, you missed an open shot. Dude right there, got out the car, you on the building, pow. He should have just went down. His parents should be singing right now, flower bringing. Talking about a siren went off and he missed the shot. And now Jay Pusha thinks that the hit was attempted by Money Mook and him. I was like, man. Once T and me finds out what's really going on, the words that B. Mickey said to them is going to come back and haunt him. Y'all know when he said, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Y'all know when people say that shit, that usually mean they lying, right? What up, happy life? How you doing, love? You know what people say, if I'm lying, I'm dying. That usually mean they lying, right? So he up there talking about, if I'm lying, I'm dying, nigga. Shit, he better have hope that he won't be dying anytime soon because he sure as the fuck was lying, right? And I just still can't get over that. I still can't get over the fact that now, see, okay, let's go way back. Let's go way back in the time, like Blackstreet. Okay, the fact that B. Mickey was found to be untrustworthy back in the gap, I had B. Mickey back that whole time. I was like, man, B. Mickey ain't gonna do that to y'all. Like, he ain't no rat. He ain't gonna snitch. He done made mistakes in his life, but I really wish Meech would have thoroughly looked into that, back in the day, because it left a lot of hurt with B. Mickey and his family. You know what I'm saying? And that man been having revenge in his heart ever since. And we had no idea. The whole season when he was missing in season 3, we had no idea that he was cooking up some shit, right? But B. Mickey done made himself out to be a snake that he once was thought to be. And let me just say, I can really kick myself right now for believing in B. Mickey. After spying on Markeisha and basically bringing vital intel to T, B Mickey, he managed to earn a little trust. A little trust. And then he decided to trust him to do another job, a bigger job. Because at first I was like, he gave B Mickey all that money for his daughter's surgery for just spying on somebody. And then they got the shit wrong too. Because Markeisha was not in bed with the police or with that other guy who they were supposed to meet at the restaurant, right? But anyway, decided to trust him with a bigger job, and that was to kill Pusha. And he ended up missing on purpose. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? When he missed on purpose, I was like, well, when he missed, okay, we didn't see it. All we saw was the gunshots. And then next thing we saw was him in the fucking car trying to explain, why the fuck he missed the shot. And I was like, the fuck? I mean, I just like to give myself, boy, I just kicked myself in the ass because I never would have thought that B Mickey would would do some shit like that. And if you remember how the shit first popped off in the first place, how he got disowned by Meech and BMF back in season 2. Remember when Lamar was telling Slick that some dude by the name of J-Mo was the one who shot T? Remember when T got shot up, right? And Meech was out for revenge. And so Lamar purposely spread a rumor around telling Slick that it was some dude named J-Mo that was the one who shot T. So in retaliation to seeing, Meech leave his baby mama house, a lot of people was like, Lamar was the one who shot T. Then he put it on somebody else to throw Meech off, and that's how that rumor has started. And so B Mickey, looked at Meech like, what the fuck? Why you not gonna kill J-Mo? Even without proof. And back then, Meech was like, I ain't doing a motherfucking thing until I know the truth. See, he didn't want to kill J-Mo until he knew the truth. But with B Mickey, as soon as he heard that B Mickey was being a snake or a snitch, he didn't look into that either. He didn't look into that. He didn't find out any proof that B Mickey, and that's why B Mickey been holding his motherfucking grudge for all these years. So yeah, B Mickey took care of that. He took care of that. He was always taking care. He was a shooter. But at the time back then, I was giving B Mickey the side eye too, because there was times where he did question Meech about what he was doing, about how his decisions and shit like that. And when he didn't put Jay, y'all remember what he said? When he didn't put Jay down, he was like, what happened to the king of motherfucking Detroit? All that king of the Detroit shit you was talking about. Show me a king that never dropped a body on the way to the throne. He was like, I know somebody would have killed my mother or my brother or anybody else. I would have scorched the earth. But Meech didn't have proof. And at that time, that was early on into their career, their street career as well. So, their organization was just forming, was at the ground at that time. So, Meech, I think he was just being careful. Now, the way Meech is now, shit, he probably would have did that nigga just on GP. Like, shit, hey, they said you did it. But then, B Mickey sacrificed his relationship with Kato, the girl that he was messing with. And man, I was down with Kato. Y'all remember Kato? Child, I was down with Kato. He showed his loyalty though to BMF. Even after they thought that he was being disloyal, he showed his loyalty to BMF by putting down his own woman, who was the one actually going behind their back and working with motherfucking Lamar. Crazy ass Lamar. She felt like she owed Lamar a solid because Lamar used to get down with her daddy. They used to rock back in the day. So I don't know if y'all remember all that, but that's just to give y'all a little background for those of y'all who probably don't know, the reason why or what happened back in the gap with, B Mickey and BMF. But yeah, so I believe then that he was trustworthy, but now I am appalled and ashamed of B Mickey. Like for real, after everything the family has done for him and his daughter, his girl, I can understand him being butthurt over the brothers believing that he was a snitch, without thoroughly looking into it. And there were times in the past that B Mickey would act like he deserved a bigger chunk, a bigger piece of the pie, a bigger cut, a BMF, or at least deserved a much higher status besides being their shooter, which he was good at. Everybody needs a shooter when you're in that type of business. But even with that still, and with the aftermath of him being disowned by BMF, when he came back because of his daughter, they still looked out for him. Even after they thought that he had been disloyal in the past, they still look because they got love for his child. You know, they got love for his child. They might, had a little qualms back in the day, but they ain't like I don't want to say I don't want to say they're not evil, but you know what I'm trying to say. They still got heart. They still got love. They still got love for him. They just don't want to fuck with him. And that's why they was giving him another chance. But not only did T get him the grip of money for basically doing nothing, because remember he was just spying on Markeisha, but their mother, Pastor Flannery, Lucille, also looked out for him by pawning her wedding ring, to donate to his daughter's surgery. And then she even officiated his wedding, serenading them and all with a damn song. I was like, damn. Damn. You got all this going on, allowing them back into your life. Like you could have just did the job for Meech or T and that's it. But he's involving himself back into the family around his parents. You know what I'm saying? Accepting all this help and support, and he didn't work out a deal with Lamar. Like you did the same thing you put your bitch down for back in the day. Ain't that some shit? You see how that shit just turned all the way around, y'all? That's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. So B Mickey was the one who was visiting Lamar at the rehab center, encouraging him to exact revenge on T and Meech, which gave him the opportunity to sweep in, play the knight in shining armor. Because y'all remember when B Mickey came, he's B Mickey. I said B Mickey. When B Mickey came, remember it was to their sister's graduation party, and he followed them. He said he followed them from the party because he wanted to talk to them and explain himself, right? No, it was all set up, y'all. But he wasn't supposed to kill that nigga. That's where shit. Like I said, he told the brothers, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Not only do he have to be worried about T and Meech, now he has to be worried about Lamar, because him and Lamar had made plans that Lamar would, get revenge on them, and B Mickey would help set that shit up. But when Lamar was able to get them blocked off in the corner, no way of escape, B Mickey came in as the knight in shining armor, as the hero, and put a bullet in that ass, and he thought he killed him. He missed Jay Pusher on purpose, but when it came to Lamar, he really thought he killed him. He really thought he killed him. Child. He is set on taking the brothers down. But his plan is about to backfire, obviously, because Lamar survived. Lamar got 9 lives, y'all. 9 lives. But to think also that his baby mama, his girl, is backing him on all this. Did y'all see when they was talking? She was like, yeah, all this time we've been so worried, and bills, and our daughter, and going to sleep every night, not know. Like, she's like, damn, is she behind the shit? Like, is what B Mickey doing because of her? Is she the one pushing him to turn on them? Cause she seemed like I don't know. But they both trifling as the fuck. Like, y'all daughter could be dead right now. Y'all daughter could literally be dead right now. And Lamar is now alive. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do now, B Mickey? Because Lamar is definitely gonna come back on that ass. And he better hope he don't fuck with his family, because you know Lamar is that grimy. He will take your whole fucking family out over some shit that you did to him and won't give a fuck at all. Won't give a fuck. But anyway, someone that I do believe the brothers could always count on being loyal is Duffy. Um, Detective Brian, he thought he was doing some shit. He thought he had him. He thought he had him. He went so far as to try to get to try to use Duffy's father as a way to convince Duffy to rat on BMF. Duffy was like, hell no. I love my father and all that. I respect his feelings and all that. But if Brian thought for 1 second, for 1 millisecond, for 1 minute that Duffy would be willing to snitch on Beach and T, he must have lost his damn mind. He must have been out of his mind. Because for one, Duffy ain't no fool. Now, he could be feeding this shit in him, telling him, oh, well, you ain't got to serve no time. Oh, we gonna give you immunity audit. Why would he trust anything coming out of Brian's mouth? He could end up snitching on BMF and still doing life in prison. Why? Because the only real revenge Brian wants is for his son committing suicide. But like I said before, and I say it again, Brian blames everything on everybody else. Everything that has ever happened to him, he blames it on everybody else. And when he's seeking revenge, sometimes you know how some people be upset with somebody and they take it out on somebody else? That's the kind of bullshit that he be doing. Like, he will not, if he had it his way, he wouldn't leave this world without taking down BMF. Like, if that's the last thing he'd do before he take his last breath. Right? Anyway. But as far as his father goes, yeah, Duffy was like, nah. Nah, I'm gonna stick with my decision, because his father had went to prison, you know, and Duffy had to look out for, himself a lot when he was coming up. And he didn't really have a family until he found BMF. So basically, he's trying to tell Brian, that is my family. BMF for life. I'm not turning on my family. I'm not snitching on my family. Yeah, I love my dad, but he was not the family that, and he's like, fuck that. This is my new family. I owe them everything. And if he do make any sacrifices, he's going to be for them. You know what I'm saying? And that's one sacrifice that he's going to do, and has to keep his mouth shut. So I do hope that Duffy can remain being strong and holding on. And hopefully they won't have enough to hold him. Because I think if they did have enough to hold him, like the dude that he killed was a future NBA star. He was on his way he had already been drafted and everything. And he was on his way to play, for the NBA. So if they did have something for him, they would have arrested him, throw his ass in, no questions asked. Hey, we're arresting you for murder. This is what it is. This is the time you're facing. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody's child. So I would think he would be doing time anyway for killing an innocent bystander. Ain't no way they just gonna let his ass off, get him a slap on the wrist for killing somebody's innocent ass child who had a very bright future, just to bring in some drug dealers who didn't have shit to do with shit. Anyway. And I know some of this shit in here, some of this shit we don't even really know really happened, right? They say that at the beginning of every show, a lot of this shit in here could have possibly happened. But then we also know that TV shows also throw in extra shit. They put 20 on 10 for entertainment purposes. But shit, still, I don't believe that he would get a slap on his wrist. Okay, now let's move on to Lil Nicky. Lil Nicky, who ain't so little anymore. Now that the cat is out the bag, everyone, including Big Worm and her parents, know that she is pregnant. But by who is what Inquiring Minds wants to know. And one of those Inquiring Minds is her mother. Lucille be cracking me up. Her mother, Lucille, be cracking me up. But Lucille is far from that. Lucille might have made some mistakes over the years. She got pregnant. She had several kids at a very, very young age. But amongst things that she's learned over the years, knowing her children really well is one of them. We all, if we are all good parents and pay attention to our children, we know our children. You could tell us something our child did, and we'd be like, "Shit, no, he didn't. Y'all ain't gonna be lying on my son." But then you could tell us something else. We'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know I bet he did that shit." But she knows her children really well. So her assuming that Nikki doesn't have no earthly idea who her baby daddy is doesn't strike me. Doesn't strike me at all. And I don't know about y'all, but from what I've seen over the years, some females who may have gotten pregnant after having sex with different guys, they usually choose which one? The one they really want to be the father of their child. The one that might have his head on his shoulder. The one that might be making some good money, might be in school, might be smart, intelligent, somebody they could, see a future with. Something like that. That's usually how they go about making that decision. And they would hardly ever let the dude know that they might want to book a date with the Maury Povich show. You are not the father. But anyway, does anybody want to bet on who the baby daddy is? Because ah, she claims that she has sex with old boy a month or so before that or something like that, or she said it's been. Now the thing is, we ain't never seen them do anything. She could have just been saying that, you know what I'm saying, so she wouldn't look like a hoe. She could have just been saying that because I would think that the producers would have let us see that scene where they was getting all into it and did whatever, whatever. But I was like, damn. And then I realized they did have sex. I was like, they did have sex. It had hit me that they had sex in the back of the fucking car. I was like, damn, how could I forget about that? Because remember, we was talking about it. And I was like, right after he hit that shit, he probably hit that shit, for good time's sake. Because he know he was about to go to college. He was about to run into a whole bunch of other beautiful black beauties down there at the college. And shit, like he said, all my homies, they broke up with their girls ahead of time because they already knew. And he was telling her, I'm not gonna do that. I want to be with you. I'm not gonna break up with you. We gonna make this long distance shit work. But how long has she been in school? And how long has it been? So like a month, 2 months. Who's to say? Who's to say? Because she had sex with Worm, and then it seems like they've been together for weeks. So who's to say? She ain't went to no doctor and shit. So she don't even know how far along she is. Now, hopefully next week we'll get to see her go to the doctor and they'll be able to tell her how far along she is. And they better have say 2-3 months. Boy, if they don't say 2-3 months, hmm, hmm. Big Worm, he better do exactly what T said. T was like, you gonna take care of this motherfucker, baby. Y'all gonna get married. She ain't gonna struggle. You changing pampers. You attending PTA meetings. The whole 9 yards, nigga. And if he ever thinks about being a deadbeat dad, that's exactly how he's gonna end up dead. Mm-hmm. That part. That part. But for her sake, I hope it is her boyfriend's baby for her sake. And I don't even know if she's going to end up keeping it. She sounds like she's going to keep it right now, but it's a lot of shit going on. I mean, it's a lot of shit going on, especially in their family. Fuck all the shit her brothers got going on in the gangs and the drugs. The immediate shit they got going on in the family, like her mother and father, Charles and Lucille. Charles has all but given up on life after feeling like he's no longer worthy of his family, let alone his own life, to live. The man is down bad. He is broken. And I had suspected, that his injury would be really hard for him, be hard to cope, being that he not only needs his hands to work for the type of job that he has, but he also plays the guitar and he needs his hands to play the guitar. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that would really, really affect him. But thoughts of suicide wasn't something or anything that I saw coming, and neither did his family, for that matter. So I don't know. Do y'all think Lucille will still put him out after all this? For the sake of her getting a couple of food stamps and maybe getting some Medicaid. Because keep in mind, even though her daughter is grown, she's still in school. So that does matter, for something. But like the caseworker said, she was still on the borderline of receiving any type of supplemental income. I can recall a few times back in the day when I was on the borderline. I'm like, I need some stamps. They was like, you are $2.99 over the income. I was like, are y'all kidding me? Like, you can be 73 cents over the income guidelines, and they will be like, you can't get shit. I'm like, not even one food stamps, not even a book. You know how back in the day they had books, not even one book. But yeah, so she's right on the border. So will putting him out and he's not even working really help? I don't know. But to me, if I was Lucille, this is just me. If I was Lucille, it seems like it might be more beneficial if she allowed him to still live there. Because I forgot about workman's comp. When you get hurt at work, workman's comp, you still get paid. Or they'll have you like to apply for short-term disability, workman's comp, something like that, So maybe that could bring in some money and help her out. And then don't forget, she still has that fur. We know that she pawned the ring to, I do believe she pawned that and gave that money to be Mickey. I think that's what she did with that money. But she still has the fur. So maybe she can pawn that mink or that rabbit or whatever the fuck it was that Meech had gave her, just like she did the wedding ring, and get some money that way, fill the fridge up, the freezer up, pay a few bills. She done maxed out Nikki's credit card. I don't even know if Nikki knows that she done maxed out her credit card. That would probably piss Nikki off a whole lot. I don't even want to try. They think they at it right now. Mother and daughter is not seeing eye to eye. They think they at it right. Let Nikki find out she done maxed her motherfucking credit card out and she got a baby on the way. She up there telling her mama, I don't need you. I don't need to stay here. I can raise my baby in college. I can take my baby to college. But you ain't got no job. You got a motherfucking scholarship. But your baby daddy, he's also in college. He ain't got no job. And she has a credit card, but it's maxed out. And she don't even know. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, either she can pawn that fur for now and get a little chump change, or maybe, you know what? We keep forgetting that she's a pastor now, right? She's a new pastor. And from me growing up in church in those Pentecostal churches, one thing that we used to have a lot, especially when the church needed money or had a fundraiser or a building fund or something like that, they would throw like citywide revivals every other fucking week. Sometimes they would last a whole month. Sometimes they would last a whole summer. And all the money that they would bring in. So maybe Lucille need to throw some revivals around that piece and raise money. Pass the collection plate around 2-3 more times during the services. I mean, hell. I can recall a lot of pastors back in the gap. Shit. They didn't never go broke. They kids didn't never go hungry. They was driving in the best of cars, wearing the best of clothes, rocking the best of jewelry, hair slayed and laid. I mean, now the people in the church, the parishioners may have been broke and had to go without one of the families being ours a lot. Because my mother, boy, she was ever given to the church. My dad used to be so upset. Why you keep giving them people all our money? I get out of that. Boy, they would argue about that shit. Boy, I remember many, many times, many, many nights about my parents arguing over giving too much money to the church. Lord have mercy. My dad be like, the light bill due, the gas bill due, the phone off, the cable off, and you still giving the money to the church. So yeah, maybe that's one way Lucille can raise some money so they can pay for the bills in their own house. Child. Mm-mm-mm. Lucilla's giving it to him hard. Yes, 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 she is. You said you just, hey chat, don't forget to, yes, please like and subscribe. What up, Booski? How you doing? There's the Cash App. Sis will drop the Cash App if you want to donate to the commentary. But yeah, $ the hood table 402. You said you just woke up and saw you up here. Yeah, I had to, girl, at the beginning of the show, I said I sent a message to my sis to see if she wanted to join me, but I said I don't know if she will or not. But yeah, I was just about done. But if you want to hit the link, I can drop the link because I did say I would drop the link if anybody wants to jump up here. I know 400 was in the chat earlier, and sometimes he discusses the show with me. But if you want to drop the link, I can go ahead and do that. But child, Poe Charles, he wants to take his own life. I did not see that coming. I did not see. But you know what? And not to shade men, but it's something about women who be struggling and can have 1,500 kids, and we can be struggling, and boy, we would go out there and make some shit work. I mean, how many of y'all that grew up with a single parent, a single mother, and y'all ate, it might not have been steaks and ribs and, shrimp and lobster, but you ate, she know how to throw some shit together, make some food stretch, make money stretch, maybe did laundry, clean people's houses. I remember my mom did all kind of shit after we was all in school and she decided that she wanted to get out there and work. She would work at hotels. She was working to clean like these rich people way out west. She would clean these rich people houses, and they would give her good money, tips and everything. And sometimes they would send shit home for us. Get your child this, get you like candy and pops, and there's all kind of different things. And then when the holidays came around, they would give her gift cards. And like my mother did a lot of shit. She did a lot of shit. But sometimes when it comes to men, it's like when they are down on their luck, it's it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And not to say that there are women out there who be down on their luck and they hit rock bottom. But I in just in my experience growing up in the hood, I seen a lot more men hit rock bottom and not be able to pull themselves back up by that bootstraps. And next thing you know, they out there addicted to drugs, alcoholic, they living on the street. I done seen this shit. I done seen people's parents that I grew up with turn out to be those people. And the mama still at home taking care of the kids and family. And back in certain parts of the world, especially here in the Midwest, back in the day, we used to have more plants. We used to have a lot of manufacturing companies, um, a lot of packing houses and things like that. And over the years, a lot of them have shut down. So a lot of the ways that men used to make a living back in the day, a lot of those businesses shut down. There was I can't Vickers. That's what it was. Vickers. A couple of weeks ago, I was trying to remember when we was talking about Charles and his job. I was trying to remember the name of the company here in Nebraska that has shut down, and it was Vickers. I'll never forget because when that company shut down, a lot of people uh worked there. A lot of people worked there, and they had almost 900, 1,000 people working there, and it wasn't too far from the hood either. It was not too far from the hood. It took you like 2-3 minutes to get there from the hood, and so it was a local company. That it was a manufacturing company, and I think they produced like hydraulics or something like that. But a lot of people have worked there for years, and that was one of those jobs where once you get on, oh, you don't want to get off. I mean, once you get on, that money so good, the benefits so good, the promotion so good. Nobody wants to give that job away. So it's one of those jobs where once you got in, if somebody helped you get in, you're gonna try to do right and keep that job. But around like 99, around 2000, the plant had start laying off people, and little by little by little by little they kept laying off people, and we were seeing people like losing their homes, losing their cars, losing their families. It got really bad in the city for a lot of people. For a lot of people. And like I said, a lot of times when shit like that happen, it I don't know what it is about us women folk. We ain't perfect by no means, and we can hit rock bottom and go out there and be turning tricks and shit like that too. I ain't gonna hold you, but just from my experience, me growing up, I saw a lot more men out there on the streets lost. When they hit rock bottom, whether it's losing a job, losing a family, things like that. And the women would still be at home, sacrificing their time, working 2, 3, 4 jobs, to take care of the family. So, that's just how it was, from where I'm from. Might be different where you are, but you know, that's what I experienced. That's what I experienced. But anyway, so nobody wants to hit the link. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wrap this up. Again, tonight I'll be here at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific with Big Rigs. We're gonna discuss some trending news, little trending news, just a tad bit of celebrity news, but mostly trending news. We're gonna talk about that shooting in Detroit, that McDonald's manager that was killed. We're gonna talk about the floods. We also gonna talk about the Philly mass shooting too, and then just do a little update on Diddy. But other than that, that's about it. That's what we're gonna discuss tonight. And then again tomorrow night, I'm gonna come back tomorrow night, probably around like 7:30, 8 p.m. tomorrow night, and do a review on The Shy. Now that I'm all caught up, now that the Diddy trial is over, I had a chance to catch up with The Shy. So, I was reviewing The Shy, before, and I just didn't get to it this season because too much other shit was going on. But anyway, I will see you guys tonight, hopefully 9 p.m. Central Time again. And we're going to be, having a little chit chat, little grown folks conversation about the things, about the goings on in the world, okay? But other than that, you guys, please make sure again you like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you happen to be new here. If you want to donate to the channel, please hit that Cash App that Cislo posted, $ the Hood Table 402, or you can also hit the super chat if you want to. But other than that, you guys, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and as we always say, always remember to keep it hood. I'm out. Bye.